My name is Geoff Payne and I'm 25 years old.
My name is Melissa, I'm 19 years old.
I'm actually Tuohy, I'm 22 and I'm a geek.
I am a geek.
And I'm a geek.
How would I describe a geek?
A geek is usually obsessive, passionate, and enthusiastic about a particular interest or subject.
Well, I would say that it's got to do with that obsession and that knowledge base that's a little bit more, a little bit more than normal.
I think a geek is someone who partakes in the culture of like a lot of sci-fi TV shows, a lot of fantasy TV shows, a lot of fantasy sci-fi movies and books, also games, just a lot of video games.
This can include Doctor Who, Star Wars, video games like Final Fantasy, role-playing games, RPGs, like Dungeons and Dragons.
They buy various random things that they don't necessarily need, t-shirts, hats and stuff, just stuff that shows off, hey, I know this.
That person usually knows everything there is to know about that particular subject or interest, and loves talking to other people about that interest as well.
Since birth, isn't that how it works?
Sometime in between 20 and 12, that's when I started to notice my brother playing a lot of video games and all that sort of stuff, and that's when I really started taking off.
And around year 8 is when I really started to get into Doctor Who. I thought it was the best show in the world. It was sci-fi, it had space and time travel, and a weird and quirky main character.
Since primary school I used to read comic books, play Yu-Gi-Oh, that kind of stuff. I learned how to read with Pokemon. That's how long I've been a geek.
It was mainly just like the various stuff around certain computer games. So like at the time I was very big on Halo. Played a lot of Warcraft as well. We just kind of picked up every single console, every single handheld, all the computers, and we just kept playing games. Right now it's a lot different. It's also like Doctor Who and several other TV shows, Stargate, Star Trek, I've started watching all of that. I've finished all that as well.
I mean, when you start talking about Pokemon extensively, people start to not pay attention and walk away. I mean, that's just normal.
In high school, I did feel a little different to others because, like, it was a farm town mostly. So every high school I went to in that area there were just like mostly farm kids and just town kids that don't really do anything apart from go out and drink. So I did feel out of place because what I do with my evening is I go home and play games while they went out in the town, or when they went back home and worked with their parents with the farm and all sorts of stuff. So I was kind of like one of the very few people in the high school that were actually proper geeks. Being different, I was treated differently. I was kind of like a little bit like a social outcast.
Because I liked this weird and lame show, everyone thought I was weird and lame as well. Whenever I'd get really excited about a new episode that just come out, I'd get eye rolls and and no one really cared. And it really lowered my self-confidence because I thought that being weird and lame and different was a bad thing.
That's a hard question because I'm from a small country town, so everyone's kind of mates with everyone and it's not like cliques, like stereotypical high school, whereas like there's the nerd clique, but half of that clique is also like the jocks, and then half of them are also like the science clique.
It wasn't until year 10 until I found someone else that liked Doctor Who as much as I did. They recently moved to our school and joined my group of friends. They were very confident in themselves and were very proud in what they loved. And they hated the idea of people thinking you were weird and lame because you liked a particular show or movie or something else geeky and sci-fi related. So they stood up for what they believed in. They passionately expressed how much they thought Doctor Who was absolutely awesome.
But the group I was with, they didn't really give a crap that I was different. They just were like, oh yeah, he's a weird kid, but oh well. He can also talk normally like a normal human being. Having
someone else there that liked the same thing that I liked and didn't think they were weird lifted my self-confidence in who I was and the person that I was, and the idea of being called a geek didn't really matter to me anymore. they realised that even though I was different and what I liked was different, it didn't really matter because that was okay and that was just who I was, and everyone else has their own stupid and weird obsessions as well.
If the servant is killed, it can be returned to life.
You're playing D&D.
Such as
yeah,
the fire.
and I paid for 9 hours. So. A recently acquired geek. Fuck this. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna continue writing in my book.